Good morning. The purpose of this video is just to inform you and make sure you're aware about certain expectations and procedures that I expect you to follow each and every day in this class. And after the video, I'm going to have you complete just some very brief and simple review questions based on what you're listening to in this presentation. So let's go ahead and get started. First, there's a difference between expectations and rules. Expectations are not rules. A rule would be, say, after 9 tardies you get dropped from a class. Expectations are the items that I trust you to apply while in this course. I do my hardest to treat you all like young adults, but in return I expect you to act like a young adult, and I think that's a fair trade-off. So if you want to be treated as a young adult, then certain actions are expected of you. And in this next slide I want to go over what those certain actions for me in this class are. Number 1 is the most important on this list. Please be on time. If you're late to class, I take that as a direct disrespect to me, that you don't value being here, you don't value my time, you don't value your classmates, because when you're late you distract them. So be on time. One of the best college coaches of all time, he was a college basketball coach for UCLA, used to have a quote that said, when you're on time you're actually late, but when you're early you're on time. And so I expect you to be on time to class, in your seat when the bell rings. Not huddling outside the classroom when the bell rings, you make the mad dash for your seat. Not placing your books in your desk and then going back out into the hall and coming back in after the bell rings. Be on time means in your seat, ready to go when the bell rings. Number 2, never line up at the door prior to class ending. That's what kindergarten students do, okay? We're not in kindergarten. More importantly, to be honest, we work bell to bell in this class. And you're not really going to, very rarely, you're going to have downtime towards the end of the period. There's always going to be something for us to work on. So if you're starting to pack up and line up at the door, that means you're not completing the activities that I expect you to complete for that class period. So absolutely never line up at the door prior to class ending. Item number 3, please communicate. And this one involves a lot of different things. Number 1, if you're confused, ask me a question. Number 2, get engaged with your classmates. Talk to them about the topics we're studying. Get yourself involved in class discussions. Talk to me, inform me if certain things are going on. Maybe you're having a bad day and you don't really feel like publicly speaking in front of other classmates, things like that. You don't want me to call on you that day. I'll grant your wish. Let me know. That also involves if you need more time for an assignment or a project. Let me know. 99.9% of the time, if you ask me, Mr. Pygman, could I get a couple more days to complete this activity or this project, I will give it to you. A lot of you guys have a lot going on. You're babysitting, you have family obligations, you're working, you're on sports, you're in clubs. Those things are great, and I'm very excited to see that you're so involved with all those activities. I'd rather give you more time to complete an assignment so that you do the assignment well in the way it's intended to be done than having you rush through a couple minutes before class starts to get the assignment done just to get points. So if you need more time, ask me and I guarantee I'll give it to you. Just don't abuse it. Number 4, please be prepared. What does that mean? Well, it goes back to expectation number 1, be on time. You're not prepared if you're not on time. What did I do? I'm losing it. Let's go back to slide number 3. Okay, we are at please be prepared. First item related to please be prepared is to be in your seat when the bell rings. Second item with be prepared goes to our class blog. Every single day I'm going to post what we're going to do for that class period on our class blog. And it's always going to tell you what the purpose of today's lesson is. So for example, this is a fake post. We'll study this second semester. Today we're going to compute how to do payroll using different pay periods and pay types. And then your bell work is going to be posted right underneath that. That'll be, sometimes I'll write bell work, or usually I'll just write right now. You don't need to wait for me. As soon as the bell rings, you read this and you follow whatever it says to do right now. For example, right now I want you to read the following article and post a reaction to the article in the comment section below. Okay, so that also involves with being prepared. Now, you can't do that unless you bring your Chromebook that's fully charged. So that's also involved with being prepared. Item number 5. Please don't ask to use the washroom unless it is an emergency. I can't get up and all of a sudden leave class to use the washroom, and I don't expect you to do that, or I expect you to do the same thing as well. I understand some things happen. There's emergencies. By all means, when it's an emergency, I will let you go, no questions asked. Just please don't ask to use the washroom. If you honestly think you can wait till passing periods, I would appreciate it if you made an effort to do so. Because the longer you're outside of class, the less you're involved in that day's lesson and learning. And lastly, be kind. 99.9% of issues arise because we're not being kind. Being kind is a simpler way of saying be respectful. Be a good person. Make good decisions. Be kind. Okay, let's talk about Chromebooks. Chromebooks are a privilege, not your right. For example, you have a right to a good education. You have a right to know, hey, Mr. Pygman, why are we learning this today? You have a right to know why we're studying or what we're learning or what the purpose is for everything we're doing. Privileges may be taken away. The Chromebook is a privilege. If you begin to use it irresponsibly or inappropriately, I will take that Chromebook away. While the rest of your classmates are using Chromebooks, you're going to be given pen and paper. And trust me, that's not something you want. Chromebooks are fun. They're engaging. We're going to have a great year using them. So use them responsibly. In addition, I work extremely hard to try to give you guys some neat, engaging, and enriching lessons for you to experience. And usually when we do these kinds of lessons, I'm going to be having you use different tools, different technological tools. And because I'm working so hard to come up with some neat tools for you to use in class, I expect you to use these tools respectfully. And I think that's a pretty fair trade-off. Okay, in addition, you registered for accounting, business accounting. Therefore, if you are on a non-accounting related site, then you probably know you're on a site, you're doing something on a computer that you shouldn't be doing. For example, searching for music on YouTube, watching highlights of your favorite sports team on YouTube, watching movie trailers on YouTube. That's probably something that you shouldn't be doing. Checking scores on ESPN, checking your fantasy football league. Hey, I get it, I'm on a fantasy football team too. Guys, if you want to talk about it, we can during appropriate times in class, but I don't want you on these sites. If you want to go on them before class starts, by all means do it. But when that bell rings, we are in accounting mode, working bell to bell. Okay, so use the computer responsibly. All right, cheating, we have to talk about it. For some reason, because it's so easy to cheat on the computer, we think that it's okay to do so. And let's be honest, you and I both know what cheating is, and you know when you're cheating that it's wrong. So don't do it. Projects and assignments need to be composed in your original text written by you. We are not to copy and paste from other websites or projects. Okay, so I don't want you going to Wikipedia, copying and pasting a definition, going into the assignment I'm asking you to complete, and pasting it. Now, to be honest, I get more upset when I see things like this happen, not because cheating is wrong, but because you're not learning anything. When you're just copying and pasting something, that's a 10-second process. You're not processing the information. You're not thinking critically. That's why we're here. So don't do it. In addition, cheating also involves things like this. Say you're completing an activity and you add in your friend's email address and you share it with him. So that way he has the answers that you created and he can just copy them and put them off as his own. That's wrong. And again, I don't get upset because cheating is wrong. I get upset when you do that because you're not learning. Okay? So the activities you do in this class should be your own. Okay, commenting online. Keep discussion posts focused on accounting topics and whatever it is that we're studying. Remember that a real human being wrote each post and is going to read what you write in response. So be kind. Lastly, proofreading, use spell check for anything you do online. Remember that everything you post is made public. Everybody in the world can see it. Okay? It's embarrassing if you post something with bad grammar. So double check your work. Let's take a look at what I mean here. We might be using tools like this. This is called a back channel, where I ask you to post some things. You type in your message, you hit say, and everybody else in class can read it. So remember that the things you type in, everything you do on a computer is public and viewable by everyone. Don't make a post that you would be embarrassed if your grandma read, if your mom read, if another teacher read, if your pastor read, if your girlfriend or boyfriend read. Your post should be related to our topic. They should be kind, they should be free of errors, and they should show critical thought. Okay, so whether we're posting on something that looks like this, whether you're posting on something that looks like this, wherever you're posting, no matter what tool or form we're using, your post should be kind, they should be free of spelling and grammar errors, and they should be related to what we're talking about. Did you see the Bears game last night has nothing to do with what we're talking about? you were in my group today where you didn't spell out you and you didn't spell out to has grammar errors. Johnny, your post made no sense. What in the world are you talking about? That's not kind. Okay, you don't know how Johnny's going to interpret that. That might upset him. Okay, so please follow those rules when making your posts online. All right, we're almost done, I promise. Home stretch. I have too many tabs open here. Okay. Now, the last slide, my biggest expectation. I want you to be positive in this class. I want you to try to be successful in this class. Okay? It's okay to be excited to learn. It's okay to want to do well in this class. It's okay to ask questions. It's okay to discuss class topics with your classmates. It's okay to want to do well here. Okay? If it's up to me at the end of the year when I fill out your final grades, I want to give out 30 A's. That means I did my job. That means you did your job. Okay? I want you to be successful in this class. More importantly, I want you to be successful outside of this class as well. And you should want the same for yourself. And if we can do that, trust me, we're going to have a great year. We're going to have a fun year. We're going to learn a lot, and you're really going to enjoy this experience. Okay? All right. Thanks for sitting through this boring presentation. What I want you to do now is go ahead and complete those review questions. That's just going to kind of have you rethink about some of the things that we just talked about here in this presentation. Thanks.